Very well done. It's good to know what we have to look forward to. It's my pleasure to represent the Board of Directors, and at this time I'd like to introduce them. Tom Mulville is our Vice Chairman, if you'd stand. He and his wife Roxy farm near Amy. Bruce Howard is our Secretary Treasurer. He and his wife Kelly Ray farm near Ulysses. Tyler Haynes is our Assistant Secretary Treasurer. And his wife Amanda farm in the Pine Mill area. Tim Miller. Tim and his wife Rebecca farm in the Holcomb area. Mike Deaver. Mike Deaver and his wife Carol, who I think is here. Carol, would you stand? Farm in the Pine Mill area. Now, if I miss any other wives, please, I know you'll stand up. Bill Laughlin and his wife Donis farm in the Dighton area. You've already met Corey and Gordon, and also Associate Director is Matt Horton. He and his wife Aubrey farm in the Deerfield area, north of Deerfield, and Lynn Teeter. Then his wife Tracy farm in the Ulysses area. So far, we only have one new associate director to replace him. We're still working on replacing the other open position. And that's Nate Bingaman and his wife Amanda. And they farm with us in their farm. This afternoon, I forgot my speech. And so Caroline ran back to the headquarters to pick it up. And on her way back here, she was moving pretty fast on Kansas Avenue. She was running about 65 and a 40. And of course she got pulled over. And the policeman that pulled her over came up to the window and said, "Ma'am, can I see your license?" And Caroline, being the quick thinker that she is, she said, "I'm sorry, officer, but it got revoked 2 years ago for drunk driving." His brow furrows, and he straightens up and said, "Well, can I at least see the registration for your car?" And Caroline says, "I stole the car and I killed the driver and he's in the trunk." So the policeman said, "Ma'am, don't move. I'm calling for backup." So he whispers in his walkie-talkie for backup, and 5 minutes later we've got half of the police force in Garden City right around Caroline's car on Kansas Avenue. The chief of police, Mr. Hawkins, comes as well. And he comes up to the car and says, "Ma'am, can I see your license?" She politely pulls her license out of her purse and hands it to him. And he says, "Looks legitimate." And he says, "Can I see the registration for the car?" So she pulls it out of the glove box and hands it to him. And so he's kind of puzzled by this time. And he says, "Ma'am, stand back." And he pops open the trunk and he's all ready, to see a body back there. And there's nothing in there. And she shakes her finger at the first policeman and says, "Yeah, and I'll bet he told you I was speeding too." Caroline, thanks for bringing my speech back. In the past year, we've had 10 regular meetings. There's only been one director absence and 4 associate absences. We represented you at the CHS annual meeting, the KFSA and CoBank meetings, Texas Co-op Council meetings, and neighboring cooperative annual meetings. At our strategic planning session last winter, we spent a majority of the time discussing the balance of spending our profits to either redeem stock or to build new facilities, but above all, maintaining a strong balance sheet. By this time, you should have received your check for the stock that we redeemed for the years 1991, 92, and part of 93. This should disprove the myth that you have to die to get your co-op stock. In fact, I contend you actually receive dividends from your stock every day because we have facilities that take care of the business we need to take care of. This is my final address as a board member. As I begin to think about what I wanted to say at this meeting, my mind wandered through all the people that I've met in this process. And I also thought of the changes that we've had. We've grown in size and scope, and we've honed our focus in being the type of business that behooves a successful cooperative. I thought of listing the change in our size, both physical and fiscal, but felt that might sound self-serving. It all boils down to the people that are involved. We are successful because of three groups of people. First, the farmers who developed this company. Second, the management who implemented the direction from the board members. And the employees that carried out the hard work. It gives me great satisfaction to be involved in such a process. Leaders like Mr. Ackley, that you saw earlier, Herb Clever, Otis Knowles, who's here today, and Roger Funk. They have positioned this cooperative to be a leader among cooperatives. Great managers like George Voth and Harley Folks were so productive in implementing the direction of the farmer boards. I think of employees over the years that I've known at the Garden City Co-op. Gail Laughlin, who I thought knew everything there was to know about tires. Grain employees like Sherm Baird and Kenny Elliott. Crop production employees like Lester Webb, Jay Warren, and Nat Avila. Petroleum employees like Cecil Dudley, Everett Glenn, Rocky Bell. Administration employees like Jerry Jones and Eunice Dinkle. We're successful farmers because of these people and what they've done for all of us. We owe a great debt to the individuals who stepped forward and shouldered the responsibility in creating an institution that works primarily for the owners, the farmers. The point I want to make is we all need each other to be successful, and that is why the cooperative model is the best. It was conceived to put a structure to our own company. The Small Business Administration definition of a co-op is a cooperative is a business or organization owned by and operated for the benefit of those using its services. Profits and earnings generated by the cooperative are distributed among the members, also known as user owners. It only makes sense to do business with your own company. This time I'd like to thank John McClellan for your help, your friendship. And I'm proud to say I got to be on the board while John McClellan was manager. I'd like to thank you, Ken Jameson. Ken, where are you? Okay. Ken, you have the confidence of many producers in the past and many producers today because of your diligence in what you do, and we appreciate that. Tim Giesick, you should be the turnaround king. How many years have we paid back patronage in crop production? That's pretty neat. You've really turned things around, and we appreciate that. Pete Mastis. One of the things I really enjoy doing, Pete, is going to the CHS meeting and hunting up the board that has the greatest number of gallons of fuel and gallons of lube. And Garden City Co-op is always at the top. And that's pretty neat. Thanks to you, Pete. Also like to thank Brent Mers. Brent, what strides we've made in being able to produce financials and be able to make good decisions in the boardroom because we have good financials. And how about Phyllis? Jan Cornett. Jan, where are you? Isn't it fun running a trucking company? Oh, it must be because you're always happy. Kirby Bradley. We really appreciate what you've done to help change the attitude in our business about working safely. It's been because of your leadership. We appreciate it. Caroline, your friendship and support during my time on the board is invaluable. And I sure appreciate it. And you've made us look good many times by remembering things that we should have remembered. And especially in our connection with people. I appreciate that. One of the new positions, Toby. Toby has a tie on today. And Toby, your leadership in our manpower is amazing. You've been able to help us move to be much more efficient with the help that we have. And it's only because of your leadership it's possible. Thank you. I hope I didn't miss anybody on my list. The list that I did earlier, I purposely did not reference people that were current employees, because the employees that we have at this time in Garden City Co-op are an amazing group. And there are a lot of people within that group that will be all-stars. There'll be people that we talk about, years from now for their dedication and work in the cooperative. So I'd like for all the employees to stand, Garden City Co-op employees. These are the kind of people that have character to do the right thing because it's the right thing. And we appreciate what you do. I'd also like to thank Nick Muting for your help and advice, Ed Michael in the past, and Vern May, as you're here this evening. And appreciate all the things that you've done for us and helping make it successful. Most importantly, though, I'd like to thank you as members of the cooperative. Without your patronage, we don't have a cooperative. And this is your business. This is your company. And it's a great deal to be a part of it. We've lost a great humanitarian in Mother Teresa. But she left many things behind, and one of them was a lesson. She won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, and she said then, "When we work hard all day long, it feels like we're only a drop in the ocean. But if our individual drops were not in the ocean would be dry." Each one of you is a drop in our ocean. And without each of you, we would be empty and dry. Please never forget how important you are. Thank you. God bless you in the coming year, and Merry Christmas.